Hi, I'm Stephen and welcome to Let's Get Working. After you've finished an interview, do you send a personalised thank you note to each of the interviewers that were present? In 2012, Ladders surveyed 500 job seekers and hiring managers. They found that only 67% of those surveyed always sent a thank you note to the interviewer, and 76% of hiring managers indicated that receiving a thank you note after an interview factored into their decision-making process. Sending a thank you note is easy and it doesn't take up much of your time. So if you aren't sending one, why aren't you? A well thought out thank you note will show your interest in the position and state why you're the person for the job. It's a way to make sure the interviewer doesn't forget about you and keep the channels of communication between you open. A bad thank you note, however, can show you in another light and affect the interviewer's decision in a negative way. As long as you put in some effort though, you have nothing to lose. So let's start crafting your thank you note. Your message should be concise. If every person that was interviewed sends in a thank you note, the interviewer may have a lot of reading ahead of them, and they may not have time for this. If your note looks too long, it likely won't be read or will be tossed in the bin. With this in mind, think about how you want to structure your thank you note by considering the following format. In the first paragraph, thank the interviewer and mention something from the interview you found interesting. In the second paragraph, state why you're perfect for the job, clarify something you feel you didn't communicate well, or address a concern the interviewer highlighted. In the third paragraph, show your interest in the position and company, let them know you look forward to hearing from them, and tell them you'll follow up within a week. This is only one way of structuring your thank you note, so don't be afraid to play around with it and move, add or subtract things. To help you get a better idea of what to say, I've included some links to sample thank you notes in the description below and in the blog post. Now that you've got an idea on how to structure your thank you note, here are some tips to keep in mind. Timing is important when sending a thank you note. The quicker you send it the better, because you don't know how long it's going to take the interviewer to make their decision. Once they've made their decision, it won't matter what your thank you note says. A good rule of thumb is to send it within 24 hours. If you have to send it later, it's better than never. But the longer you wait, the likelihood of it arriving after a decision has already been made increases. Whether you choose to send a written note by mail or a typed note by email, there isn't a right or wrong choice. Consider the company culture and the type of person the recipient is. A handwritten note is more personal, but an email may look more professional, especially if you have hard to read handwriting. It's up to you to decide which method you think is best given the situation. If you want to send a handwritten note, but you think it won't arrive in time, consider writing the note straight after the interview in a nearby place, then walk back and hand it to reception to pass on. You're not the only person who may send a thank you note, so make yours stand out. A generic thank you note downloaded off the internet that the interviewer has seen before isn't going to make an impact. Personalising your thank you note based on what was said or done during the interview will make it much more memorable. While it's important to personalise your note, don't make it too casual or stray into inappropriate territory. Keep your message professional. Once you're happy with the content, proofread it, and then proofread it again. I find reading my note out loud is an effective way to proofread, and I often catch mistakes that I miss when I just mentally read my writing. You're competing against other people for the position, and often the interviewer is looking for a reason not to hire you, just as much as a reason to hire you. You don't want the interviewer to change your mind about your suitability based on your spelling or grammar mistakes that were easily avoidable had you taken the time to check. A thank you note may make no difference when hiring, but it could be the thing that separates you from someone who's equally qualified. When two equally qualified people apply, but one shows more dedication and interest in working for the company, who do you think is going to get picked? To check out the results of the 2012 survey I mentioned, there's a link to an infographic in the description below and the bottom of the blog post if you're watching from our website. If you have any questions or would like to request a topic, let me know in the comments section below. And for more information, videos and articles, check out our website, letsgetworking.com.au. Until next time, have a good day.